Right then guys, how's it going and welcome to the final video of your football predictions this season. One weekend of Premier League football left to go. It's flown by. It's gone by so quick, and what a week of football we've had. Massive big up to Liverpool and Spurs for getting through to the Champions League final, waving the flag for the English teams. And tonight we also have Arsenal and Chelsea who could potentially get through to the Europa League final as well. So we've got both of them to look forward to, and obviously we've got England in the Nations League as well. So there is a bit of football on this summer, but yeah, the Premier League has flown by. But as for this video, those were my predictions from the last video we did, which was a couple of weeks ago, so I won't go too into it. But yeah, I got no correct scores, so finishing as we went on, basically. But as always, loads of you guys got involved. There was loads of predictions in the last video, and two people got two correct scores, and they were Nathan and Papa. So big up to these two. As I say, I got loads of comments on the last video, and if you want to be shouted out in the next predictions video, which would probably be the first weekend of Premier League football next season, so that's quite a long wait, but I'm sure I'll probably do something for the Champions League and Europa League as well. So remember to get your predictions down in the comments below. But as always, I've picked 4 games from this upcoming weekend that we'll go through now. Just before we get into the predictions, I want to quickly mention I'm getting involved in 2 charity football matches across the next couple of weeks, and they're both for the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation. They're getting put on by Newcastle Fans TV, and one of the games is against Middlesbrough Fans TV. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting involved. If you watch my videos for a while, you know that my ankles are pretty brittle and I don't play too much football anymore. But yeah, it's for a great cause, getting out there, playing some football. So I'm going to put the links down in the description if you'd like to donate, or if you want to find out the details, because anyone is more than welcome to come along and watch and get involved. So check them out. But as for this weekend, all of the games for the Premier League are being played at 3 o'clock on Sunday, and the first game we're going to look at is Liverpool versus Wolves. So Liverpool, I mean, what a week they have had. Things weren't looking too great for them at the start of this week. They're currently 1 point behind Manchester City in the Premier League with 1 game to go. Having to turn around a huge deficit against Barcelona, and they did it, and they're through to the Champions League final. So from looking like they weren't going to make it to the Champions League final, looking like unlikely that they could win the Premier League, they're now sitting in a very possible position for Premier League. I mean, they're betting on hoping that Man City won't win their game, and they're hoping that they win their game. But regardless of that, they're in the Champions League final. So how things can turn around so quickly. And then Wolves, I mean, what a season they've had. Promoted team have officially finished 7th in the Premier League after Man City beat Leicester on Monday night. So Wolves are officially 7th place. That can't change now. And depending on what happens in the Man City-Watford game in the FA Cup, if Man City are to win the FA Cup, Wolves get Europa League football. So obviously, if Watford go and win the FA Cup, they will take that Europa League spot. But if Man City win it, a promoted side, Europa League first season, is incredible. So, as I say, we've got 2 teams here. Prediction-wise, Liverpool are at home. We're seeing the atmosphere at Anfield against Barcelona. I think it's going to be exactly the same again this weekend. So I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I think what will make it very interesting is because the Liverpool-Man City game is on at the exact same time, they will know how the other team is doing. Half-time messages over the radio or the phone or the walkie-talkie or whatever could put pressure on those 2 teams depending on what happens in each of their games. So yeah, I'll back Liverpool for this one, 2-1. And I've just mentioned them, another game on the Sunday, 3 o'clock, we have Brighton taking on Man City. So we'll start with Brighton. Big up to Brighton for staying in the Premier League, currently sitting in 17th place. And you know, Brighton got a few decent draws to grab those points on the board. A draw against Newcastle, a draw against Arsenal. And yeah, Brighton are staying in the Premier League, so big up to Brighton for that. And no doubt they're going to want to build and not be in the same situation as they have been this season, ready for next season. And then Man City, again, I've mentioned them, currently sitting top of the Premier League by 1 point over Liverpool. And all they've got to do to win the Premier League is beat Brighton. And I say it like it's easy. No game in the Premier League is easy, and it's away to Brighton, so Brighton's home fans are going to be screaming for some good football on that day. And I mean, what a win it was for Man City over Leicester with that Vincent Kompany goal from absolutely nowhere to grab them the 3 points. So again, Man City, Liverpool, you know, it's 1 point, it's one game to go. It's pretty exciting. I'll be honest, and I'm pretty much predicting what I think's going to happen for the league winners. I do think Man City will win this game. I don't think it'll be easy. We're seeing against Leicester, it was a very tough game, and it was a wonder goal from a centre-back who doesn't score very often, who got them the 3 points. So I'm going to go 2-0 Man City. But as I say, you know, if Liverpool start beating Brighton, if Liverpool start winning 2-0 and Man City are still haven't scored at half-time, will the nerves set in for Man City, or are they going to power through? You know, I think if Man City get an early goal, I think they've got the composure to get the win. But, you know, I'm looking forward to it, you know, to see what happens. Next up again, on the Sunday at 3 p.m, I've gone for the Spurs versus Everton game. So Spurs currently sitting in 4th place, as I mentioned earlier yesterday. What a win that was. You know what's so annoying as well? When Spurs were losing to Ajax last night, I put in the group chat with my friends, get your bets on Spurs winning the Champions League now. And it was just a comment. I don't know. I didn't put it on. I'm absolutely gutted, because if Spurs go and win the Champions League now, that could have been a very good bet to have on. Imagine if you put a bet on Liverpool Tottenham final before these 2 games were played. You would have got amazing odds on that as well. So, I mean, what 2 days of football it has been. But yeah, big up Spurs getting in the Champions League final. As for the Premier League, they are currently 1 point behind Chelsea, who are in 3rd. So no doubt they're going to want to win this weekend and try and grab 3rd in the Premier League. Arsenal are in 5th. They are 3 points behind them and 8 goal difference. So it's not technically over for Arsenal yet, but they need to either... Well, Spurs need to lose, Arsenal need to win, and Arsenal need to score 8 goals, depending on how many Spurs were to lose by. But it's not going to be easy. In saying that, Spurs are going to be on an absolute high after the game yesterday. You know, a couple of players may be tired, may want to rest a few, because really they've kind of done their job now. But they're going to want to make sure by beating Everton. And as for Everton, 8th in the Premier League. I think they'll probably be a bit disappointed by that. They can't get 7th now, as I've mentioned already. They're definitely going to want to try and push on next season. And you know, in a way, they weren't too far off Europa League. I mean, we talk about the top 6. Wolves did a fantastic job to grab 7th, and I think Everton will... You know, with some of the money they've spent on some big players as well, they're definitely going to want to push on and try and push into at least 7th place, if not fighting for 6th and potentially even 5th or 4th, depending on what they do in the summer. But as for this game, I'm going to back Spurs 2-1. I feel like I'm just picking the favourites, which I am a little bit really. But, you know, this game... You know, maybe even a draw, 1-1. I don't know. Everton haven't got anything to play for anymore. Spurs will be on a massive high, so I think it makes sense to go 2-1 Spurs. And we'll finish it off again Sunday at 3 o'clock. My team, Newcastle, heading away to Fulham. So Fulham, 19th place, relegated from the Premier League. Not a great season for them. I mean, when they came up, I had them down as being one of the promoted teams who would integrate and probably do well in the Premier League this season, just because of the way they play their football. I thought it would have fit better. I got that wrong. I mean, look how well Wolves have done. Fulham did spend the money, but maybe bought too many players in and changed things around a little bit too much. And then we've had the managers in and out to just try and save the situation, and it hasn't worked out. So no doubt they'll be going for promotion next season, but as for Fulham, it just wasn't their year. And as for Newcastle, 14th in the Premier League, did lose against Liverpool at the weekend, but what a game that was. You know, you can't ask for much more proper end-to-end stuff, goals galore. And if we'd played like that from the start of the season, you know, imagine the season we could have had. I got asked, do I think that we've had a successful season this year? And I said yes, because we didn't get relegated. And I think as much as everyone wants to go on and improve every season, which is what I wanted, in the realms of what we are doing right now, unfortunately, success isn't being relegated, which I hate to say. And you know, if you think about when we brought Almiron in, you know, if we'd had him from the summer, that could have made a difference this year as well. So we just need that ambition from, and I'm not going to go into it this video, but the owner, the club, we need to be fighting for more than just staying in the Premier League. And as for next season, we still need to find out what's going on with Rafa. Looks like Perez is probably going to go. Rondon, are we going to sign him or we're not? There's a lot of questions to be answered over this summer, and I hope we'll get some good answers and we can look to do something next season other than just stay in the Premier League. But, you know, overall, we did what we set out to do, so I'll keep smiling for now. As for prediction, I mean, Fulham are at home. I mean, Fulham, despite being relegated, won 3 games in a row until they lost against Wolves. Newcastle have been on a bit of up and down since we officially got that safety. You know, I don't think the lads are quite on holiday yet, as we've seen from that Liverpool performance. So, last game of the season, I've got to back my own team. Alright, I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. And I know there's loads of Newcastle fans going down to that game, so I hope it's a good one for them. And that is it, guys. So those are my predictions for the final weekend of the Premier League. I mean, all eyes are going to be on the Liverpool and Man City games. So, you know, Brighton and Wolves, you know, if you want to make things interesting in those games, then please feel free. But make sure to get your predictions down in the comments below for those games there. I will go through all of them before the games kick off. So 5-3 on Sunday. I'll make a note of everyone's scores and I will shout out the winner in the next predictions video, which I think is most likely going to be for Champions League, Europa League predictions, rather than it being the next Premier League video for next season. But yeah, as always, guys, that is the end of the Premier League prediction videos for this year. So I hope you've enjoyed them all season long. 38 weeks. It's gone by very, very quickly. So yeah, drop a like. Get your predictions in down below in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you later.